doing its thing here on higher time frames. So I'm not really a trend line guy, but this one should be taken in consideration. At some point, you have maybe from here, at some point, you have to expect this move to happen, right? Okay, 48K and 38K remain the most important levels here. Okay, when the price arrives around these levels, this is when you say to your father and your mother to start buying. Okay, and not buy gold and stuff like that. Um, Also, we have to talk about gold real quick because gold and silver basically what happened here was like the liquidation that happened here on gold was bigger than the whole Bitcoin's market cap. Can you imagine what type of money got liquidated on this move? So never ape into longs or buy. I had some colleagues that are not into trading, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy gold for my kids. And I said when the price was here, guys, I swear to God, this is the typical retail, and I say, if you buy, I will kill you. And the next days, the price dropped. Okay, so be patient because this is basically the end of a parabola here. Okay, if people like to buy gold and stuff, you had 2 years to buy gold. The parabola is pretty much is broken. Okay, so we topped here. For now, we topped here. Okay, because we had times of uncertainty, of war. Dollar is like dying. So people are trying to find some safety into metals, right? That's why we had this type of demand on metals basically. Okay, so now you don't have much to do with these two, but I had to point out why you saw so much weakness into Bitcoin and you saw more like strength into metals. And maybe now there will be another rotation into cryptocurrency, right? Like all this money will rotate. It's just the blood circulating into the financial system. Okay, so it goes from one, goes to the other, like it's like a natural thing. So now let's check Zao BTC. Okay, as you can see, that's why we had some type of nice price action between BTC Zao. Do we have a chart like this one also? Yeah, okay, there you go. So as you can see, okay, we arrive into a nice POI into these daily gaps here, and we also had a reaction. So this is the Bitcoin gold, right? So maybe we are gonna see soon, at least, the Bitcoin outperforming gold again. Okay, so these are the levels of interest chart wise. So yeah, take this in consideration because it can pretty much give you a little bit put you into perspective of what's happening here. Okay, so I have this short setup. Okay, I will share it in the chart. Basically, I got front run, but this is not. I don't see it as a front run. I see it mostly as a trap. Okay, so this was the Sunday PA, the point of control. We arrived at this level. That's why you saw some kind of reaction. And what's interesting, and Bitcoin market makers do that very often, they leave equals. Okay, so basically they front run important levels before starting to sweeping more levels like that. Okay, so just so you know, you can use all the confluences you want. As we had confluences and reasons to long on the way down, if they decide to sell, they're going to sell. There's nothing that can stop the price. Okay, so you are going to see reactions, but once we have a trend reversal, basically you have to reverse your psychology and start like having lower targets into shorts and higher targets into longs. Okay, but I still do see the price going lower. What I want to see now to have a price action that makes a little bit of sense is to get at least a lower high here, on the daily, to get some relief and create what we call a lower high, pretty much here. Maybe I'm not getting filled, but I already know that I want to short here. I do have a setup here, okay? So locally, and the most risky one is this one here, okay? So I have one setup because we have to play all levels. Second setup, I think, is on Binance chart. I think I deleted. I think it was deleted. So wait. Yeah, I don't have it right now. We'll share it to you later. But yeah, basically, this is what I see. Honestly, guys, yeah, it's sad because we had the long setup, which got filled here. If you guys remember, we had a nice bounce and then they chased it again. I had a limit order, a heavy one, across exchanges, not only on Bybit, and I actually got filled and woke up in profits basically on that one. So now I'm waiting for another. So basically here you have it. Now you have a range, a new range basically. So we had our first range deviation. So we just need to be sure if to see if it's a AMD pattern, okay, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, which is I'm not really sure to be honest because you know what they did lately. Maybe they will just continue selling, even though we are into main POIs. All we want is a little bit of a relief. If we can come around these levels, stagnate a little bit, maybe take those flats here, and then again you have maybe another AMD, and then we distribute the way I explained you guys lower, so around 71K. So another way to see that thing is that we have a first range deviation. Okay, we stagnate around here, but I do believe I can catch good setups here. We need, okay, today is Monday, so we have the range forming and etc. And then we are going to catch some nice moves, okay? If you start seeing this kind of pattern, you have to ape into a short, okay? Just so you know. Okay. So, yeah, as you can see, like now the price starts doing printing this kind of patterns. Normally, what happens is that people, perpetuals are, spots are selling, and then perpetuals are aping here because of euphoria, and then you have the slow grind and boom. Because why? Because we have on the other chart, where is it? So basically, imagine this is an extension line. This is a Sunday point of control. We lost it. And now we tested another one. Yeah, I think we're going to see some type of acceleration. So basically, you have a short right here and right now. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is that every time the price drops today, like they absorb it, So I'm not taking any risks. I'm just going to leave it here. And now, normally to get your long setup, I can explain it. We have a 15-minute market structure shift, okay? So we are playing, let's say on the 30 maybe, 30 minutes, one low, another low. So we might have a model. I would have liked to see it going here to create the market structure shift, but it can be played too like this, at least for a small amount of time. So basically, if I wasn't in that trade, I would say that we have one model here, the model that I was teaching you. Okay, the only problem is that we are on a downtrend. So now we're trying to guess that normally the price is supposed to come from an uptrend or a bullish range. So now you have one low, another low, market structure shift, comes back into fair value gaps or order blocks, and then you take profits into the next order block or fair value gap or next PY. So we have a model here, okay, standard model entry. Should be coming around these levels here. Okay, that's give us the 786, 66. I would say I will take a position between the two. Okay, stop loss under this low. If it's supposed to be protected, they will not sweep that level. Okay, or else it doesn't make sense unless we have any unfortunate event that will you know destroy everybody. Target will be pretty much fill that week here. Okay, this is the most realistic setup I can give you. Basically, the entry under your exchange is low. One. Okay, let's clear up the chart. Okay, so market structure shift here. So basically, I have a trade. I'm going to add to the trade if we have a nice reaction here. Okay, so entry is 75. 75. Course, I mean, and okay, and the stop loss, I explained you already what's the stop loss. Okay, so this is what I see basically on this setup. It could play out, honestly, because we saw some volume here. If it doesn't, 71, so as explained before, okay, so nothing like not just a sweep and send it, they will send it lower just to stop these guys here because this is too easy, okay, so you are going to have a reaction because shorts are going to close, okay, so sellers are going to lose a little bit of strength against buyers because of the, so you might have an occasion to you know play. I do it very often but I don't share it because it's just very hard to update this kind of setups, but I do take trades that look like that. Basically extraction of liquidity and you take profits on the end of the reaction, okay, but this needs you to be a scalper and being a little bit more experienced, okay, so don't try this at home. Okay, so this will be the setup and the short setup. One good company in China scanned Bitcoin's 5 core days are largely funded by Epstein. Yeah, no. Hype, let's go. Let's talk about Ethereum first because we do have a position on Ethereum. So basically we got the fill. My days. I do see a short here, guys. Let's try a scalp short. It's a little bit late. Let's see. Asia high lost. I think I can see a short setup. I'm just aping here, right? So I don't really know if they want to send it. Makes sense. You will have a reaction on these levels. So tight stop losses. Yeah, let's take that one. Yeah, full port, of course, bro. And then you go cry. We already, had some downtrend. Look what they do. They absorb and they try to chase the stop losses. So you do not full port this kind of setups. Always go 1%. I always go 1%, 0.5% in this kind of trades. Take profits there will make sense to me. So the risk to reward is not the best, but maybe it can work. I can see another leg up and I would like to take profits here, but I'm not really sure. I want to take profits here. You're gonna see a reaction here, okay? So I take profits on long POIs, especially when I trade the 1 minute here, okay? So basically look at this pattern here. You see If I invert it, you will understand what I mean. Okay, these are patterns that repeat all the time. You just need to be sure you are into important POIs. Okay, so we got, so we sniped it, but we didn't touch the 786. Okay, that's why I told you to unload half of the trade because it's going back, I think. And yeah, a 10% move is, I think, is decent, right? A 10% move. Okay, so yeah. This is probably a stop loss. This is a 1 minute time frame scalp. If you are already destroyed by recent price action, and I do not quite suggest that you take it and you stick to the trades I gave you. Okay, hype. So I already know that hype was honestly very strong lately. Like it showed, hype moves on its own. Okay, so here the structure looks very good, to be honest. It didn't touch my box to get what I wanted, so I really don't know what they want to do here. I do not trade hype, okay? So I do not know how to give you an answer to your question. Okay, we are creating some kind of cap here. Okay, so this is what I like to see structure wise. But what's going to happen, I think, is either we go for another leg, but I do see the price coming in chase around these levels. So aping here, I don't know if it's a good idea. You should be waiting for either a breakout, create some another break of structure, and then on the pullback you enter, or on the sweep of that low at least. You know, this is what I would see. And then you take profits. Here you have equals. You take profits here. Okay, this is interesting level. Okay, so I'm gonna share the setup if you want. Uh, let's check. So yeah, Solana. Solana is important. What is that? Oh, okay. I don't share altcoins, so don't take this money into consideration. I don't know if I gave you this euro swing short. I'm not sure. Where is it? Fuck. Sorry, I just need to check something real quick. Hmm, not yet. Okay. Okay, Sol. Okay. Um, I do like a short setup here, and don't forget the long. Okay, so why the long? Because we have these two little equals here that look. So the stop loss is pretty much large, and Solana tends to print some nasty wicks here. Okay, so these two setups are valid, but you need to be careful because honestly, this market, I do feel like they're extracting all the liquidity from the markets right now. So even Bitcoin, I'm afraid they're gonna send it to God knows where. If anything goes out with Epstein and stuff like that, the absolute, JIT of all time. So I do see these both setups playing out. 109.45, okay, this is a very interesting supply zone here where I could see maybe one sweep or just fill the wick. So I'm not betting into the sweep, I'm betting into the fill of the wick, and then send it back. Okay, we are into a range here, so obviously one will work. I would like the short first. Boom, trap everybody and get filled, a roadmap, because imagine we just come here and then we come here, half of the move is only done. What will make sense for a bullish scenario is like, come take these guys, nuke the price, and we are into the equals, which are very interesting. Okay, you can see them. Okay, this is a nice target, for example. So all you have to do is wait. So yeah, Solana is quite interesting, especially this long. And you see the target is not that high, right? I think it's the previous month high, not sure. Previous week high. Okay, so could be a good setup. Okay, there are your plays. Okay, don't ask me what's the entry and the stop loss. You just look here and you base yourself on the colors. Okay, it's not that hard. There you go. Okay. Do you have any, so what's the SL on the long? It's 74,515. As I explained, you have to go and check in what exchange you are, trading, because prices are different between exchanges. So you have to make sure your stop loss is below that, basically. Let's go back to ETH. We are scalping it as we speak. Yeah, yeah. There is absorption. Too much absorption. So what is very interesting, so you can see, look, Bitcoin is going down and this one is holding, okay? Why? Something very important happened with Ethereum. Is that we finally swept these things here, okay? So this is very interesting. So we might see something from Ethereum because we actually swept. So, small range, then go touch. Where's the setup? Go touch the 786 because we haven't yet. Maybe even take this one. Who the fuck cares? Once we get the reclaim, we can add to your positions basically and move stop losses once the capitulation is done. Okay. For now, we need the large stop loss in order to stay into the position, and then we can add to our position and move the stop loss once the capitulation is done. Okay, that's why you see me sometimes I give a setup and then I move stop losses, because for a given amount of time the price is not supposed to come back here. Okay, so another important level that you have to take in consideration is the hard time frame value area low equals pending for a purge. So 1071 is a key number to buy spot and to maybe take a fat long, right? Maybe it will come next year, I don't know. So yeah, this is locally, this is the only thing that you can do. And yeah, I'm targeting pretty much at least this liquidity here. I'm not, okay, ideally I would like to get 93 700. This is what I want here. If I go back on the Bybit chart, you will understand better. So basically I have the 19th of January point of control here, which I guess something like this will happen. So you have the point of control, right? And it wicks a little bit above, okay? So basically this is what I'm predicting into this one, okay? If something happens, okay, and we get into this trade and we actually, if it actually works, I think you can lower your targets, like take it as a swing, since we got the front run here, it's one of the rare occasions when we might get, a nice short. If this doesn't work, you can be 100% sure that Bitcoin is coming to 104 or to the highest time frame point of control, which is at 108, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so 108 is the next level where we want to see a big reversal, okay? But if the price is not intended to go to new all-time highs this year, this will be the ultimate high I'm giving, okay? At least if we can call it a cycle, at least for this cycle, basically. But yeah, we could go another liquidation events. Of course, bro. Liquidation events happen all the time. They happen all the fucking time. So what do you have to lose? Liquidation events, what do you mean? Like Bitcoin goes from 78 to like 55? So basically, the market makers, what they do is like sending the price to their orders. Like the market makers and the big whales, they win all the time. They know what's going to happen. They short it, they long it. You have some big whales getting liquidated too. Don't worry. But yeah, of course, this can happen. But what happened 10th of October, like Binance is heavily involved into that thing because uh, at some point something happened with the liquidity, the USDT, it was thin on liquidity and it was, where is it? It was a, how can I explain it? To make it simple, they coordinated a sell-off basically, okay, into extreme premium. So when you have billions and billions of spots, right, selling, this is what happens, okay? Imagine people longing here. It's crazy as fuck, bro. I don't think I was in the server. I'm not sure, but I actually had a fucking short from here, 124, 600. I closed around here, guys. Fucking crazy. And then I was waiting for a fill around here, and one of my accounts got liquidated, the smallest one. But that was crazy as fuck. Yes, so yes, I can see other liquidations. So basically, just so you know, guys, because I told you I'm actually educating myself a little bit more with some institutional trading stuff. And it was saying, like the guy was saying something very interesting, that the law of gravity actually exists in the market too, and it makes sense, because of course it's easier to dump the markets, and that's why I like shorting, because it comes fast, it delivers, because it's so easy to go with people's emotions when they promise you it's going to go high. And of course, in order to sustain some type of structure, you need spots to hold, right? That's why you see so many shit coins dumping, because they just sell the whole supply. So what happened with Bitcoin was actually very impressive, right? So, but the day they start selling spot, there's nothing that can help it. What they do is that they create perpetual moves, trap everybody, and then dump on them. It's easy. So another liquidation event, yes. If we can get this kind of candle, yes, it's not impossible. Even a worse one. I can see that happening, but we need something like quite impactful to create this type of shit. So you have to be careful out there. uh yeah, and that's why you always need a hard stop loss. They scam down price, pardon, then yeah, so they pardoned CZ because this guy is involved with the Jews, right? Because they are a type of, they're a gang, they're mafia that just use Binance to extract liquidity from the markets, basically. Okay. He's part of that game. So if, the impacts of what this guy says, if he goes to prison and stuff like this, basically their one-sided winning will stop. Okay. There is a whole very evil thing happening with Binance, is that they Basically they own the supply. Nobody knows how and they own all this supply, and then uh, they list something on Binance and they just sell the whole supply because they have such they control the supply so they can cheat at any moment. And this is what happened with Wintermute and so on. Like last year, that's what we had all year. Like they just kept selling all the altcoins. And what do other exchanges can do? Like even even let's say they had good intentions. How can you outperform Binance and the mafia behind, which is all the politicians, when they started, listing the Trump coin, the Melania, everything went to fucking zero. So that's it. River. So guys, I got front run on a river short. Look at that. It was so fucking close, bro. I wanted an optimal entry on that one, so they didn't give it, but it's fine. Uh yeah, this is the same thing. So I'm pretty much proud because I know that I got it at 2.9 and this was an official call and we took it at $7 profits at $7, which was 2.9. So around the entry was this day. We are in the trade and $7 is still at 138, but I never imagined this kind of move here. Yeah, that was impressive. Okay. Do you have any altcoins or anything you want to see, guys? Something that for some reason you would like to see? Faster. Oh my days. Bro, I honestly, guys, I hope someone beats the fuck out of this guy, bro. Fucking CZ. The Chinese Jew, bro. Such a proud guy. Fucking. Yep. Yeah. So Bybit, we got the listing low taken. What does Binance say? Listing low taken still goes up. You see, this guy every time says, "Yeah, I'm going to build. Let's build. Keep building. Build, but build what, bro? He's selling. She's just fooling everybody in front of our faces. I don't care if now it bumps to $2. I don't give a fuck about this coin and whatever is related to CZ right now, because he just controls it. He cannot control Bitcoin. He cannot control Ethereum. He can impact it, but he cannot control it. That's the big difference. So yeah, there's nothing I can say on that coin, brother. Like there's nothing I can say. Nothing. I don't know what to say. If we stay above maybe the listing low here, we might get some, look what happens. This is what we call a market maker selling model, accumulation, distribution, accumulation, and maybe a last distribution, which makes the buying origin, we call it. And then they start buying, distribution, buying. I would like to see that thing, but how can you even project yourself in this kind of coins? I don't know. Yeah, so nothing to good. He can impact BTC huge. ETH2, any spot play you're seeing. I don't know. By himself, he cannot he cannot move Bitcoin by himself. if he puts like if Bitcoin is moving because of himself or because he's saying something, is because it was coordinated. For example, a coordinated liquidation event. He doesn't organize it. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say, is that this guy is still free because they use his exchange, which is the biggest, to extract liquidity. Okay, it's so easy to do it with unknown wallets, and of course they keep him out of prison. So yes, he's a puppet of politicians, and especially you know who. Okay, since we had these guys getting too much involved into Bitcoin and stuff, they ruined the party. Even though we have these rumors, about um, Epstein being, involved into Bitcoin and stuff. This will be crazy, crazy. I'm happy that I can at least trade Forex, guys, because this would have been so fucking hilarious. So yeah, I think it was a better idea to short Bitcoin actually, not. I'm kind of pissed off because I saw some guys, they got filled on that one, and I didn't. I see it as a trap. But you see, like Ethereum is not. You see, Ethereum is not following actually. Look at the difference on the price action. Even though I'm trying to, take my decisions based on Bitcoin, yeah, not quite working. Look at that. So be it. I'm closing the trade. Yeah, good decision. We closed. So you can see it's outperforming Bitcoin. It's kind of becoming a long here, but I will not chase it. We are still in a long here. Oops. So yeah, yep, looks okay. While Bitcoin is dumping, as you can see, when you identify patterns, you don't play with that. You know you're wrong, you close. But this is scalping. So what do we have? I mean, yeah. I think I explained everything here. I don't need you don't need anything. I would like today to close. And I'm really waiting for Wednesday to take a nice trade where I can size up. I can maybe make 5 to 6K, something important here, something nice, because I really need the price action of. I need 48 hours, and then I can get something, I guess. Till Monday, Mondays are super weird. So yeah. What's happening here? Okay, any other altcoin? Me too. Sold in Bitcoin short. Can you check Bit? BTC short. So, bro, this was my entry here. Honestly, look, when you have this kind of patterns here, usually the price is dropping after that, okay? Which is normally because this is we started seeing the same thing all over again. They create the pump and then they dump on us. So I wouldn't say anything if even if you short here. The only problem is that we arrived on extreme discount here on on Bitcoin, and you have to be very careful with your targets actually. Like if you have a short from the top, which is very good, you can already go break even, or set your targets where you would long basically. You have the little flats here, this fair value gap. Like this is where I would take profits at least here. When you're up there, yes, you can project yourself way lower, but now you have to start thinking that for a small amount of time there are chances that we go up these levels here. So I do believe that Asia maybe gets these highs and then they dump on us, and maybe we get the fill. Then London protects the lows. You know how that goes. And maybe we have we continue, distributing to the upside, where I would like to take my final profits around 86K. But for now, we have good absorption, so I will be careful with shorting here. It's not the time to really look for shorts, to be honest. Sometimes you just know it, you feel it in your guts. Your intuition sometimes is very important in trading, so take it in consideration. 78,355, which is 78,355. Why? Why? PM. So PM asked for the Zcash. You see, guys, that's why when you're scalping, you have to know when you are wrong. We closed the trade, will have been a stop loss. So we anticipated a loss. That's it. Uh, Zcash, even if he left, it's an interesting one. Zcash saved my life the 10th of October. So yeah, as I explained before, Zcash was my biggest spot back, average entry $47, sold 90% around here. Green line is where I'm really looking to take a fat long, not below. Why this level? Because as you can see, while it was going up, we already filled that gap, so it's not a point of interest for me. So either we have to try this level, so this low here, and this low here. So below 100, pretty much. Okay. Now the cash is like the short, basically. It's like pretty much doing a bearish retest. So I'd short that thing, to be honest. Even though I trade the cash in very rare occasions, I caught the short around the top, full take profits, and then I don't know why people saw a bull flag here. It was so easy to predict that it's going to fucking dump from there. So now, yeah, we tested this region once, fails to reclaim and bearish retest. So basically, if you take a short here now, I wouldn't be against that. Okay, this will be your high, stop loss. I don't know. I'm not really sure about this, but it makes sense to me. without any more technical, analysis than that. It's very easy to understand here what's happening. So yeah, I'm not against a short. I'm not sure I want to take it because I don't trade much Zcash, but this is what's happening. Chart wise, this is what's happening. So yeah, I would have said, okay, take a limit order maybe at the flat, to be a little bit safer with a better entry. But once we get, this type of rejection, like looks like a good setup actually. So yeah, I'll be patient because I really want optimal entries here, especially on displays, especially when we are right on discount. I don't want to play, nasty games. Just wait. We have the equals, they're gonna get taken. If you are short, I mean, honestly, if one was short here, I would close it. Wave short BNB. Another coin I hate. Dang, bro, why? Is he crazy? I mean, he's not that crazy. I know what he's trying to do, but depends where his target is. Wait, uh, stop loss at 783, 783. My God. Uh, mm, so I don't quite check much, BNB, but as you can see, I had this box here. It was for a reason. No, it's a no for me. I wouldn't take the short here, even if it does make sense. But nope. I almost want to counter trade him now, but I will not do it because it actually can work since we have a nice sell off, so boom. It happened before, so you have some kind of small cans and then boom again. But I'll be careful here. This level is not this level. This level is better. You see, even if you have some patterns that are being respected, as I told you, you can use confluences. They will chase them no matter what. So it's not the time to overtrade, honestly. Yesterday I had some very nice 1 minute scalps, made very nice money before I took many shorts. I took this short here before the big drop here, and then I got filled. Bam, here another short. Like I have my own, private section, and I'm doing a founded account challenge, so I had to scalp a little bit. But here, because I want to pass foundeds, I have two. I need the third one. So where is it? Um, this was yesterday. So yeah, I do scalp a lot. That's the things you might not see, but it's too stressful for me, to share it into channels and stuff like that. Okay, lads, I think I said everything. You're gonna start prop charge here? No, I'm not doing in earn. This is something, as you can see, I have a very small Discord server, but it's like a very close one. Like it's a very private one. I do have only, basically, I do have my old Telegram VIP members, Um, and I have basically the idea is to have the best traders I know. It's not to have members. It's not like to grow as a Discord, a classic Discord server, basically. Yeah, and some friends. But yeah, I'm doing the challenge there. I can't like update everybody and everyone. Like you have to earn it, by the way. So how to join? I'm not here to take any member from earn. I'm here for a different reason. If you want to join for any reason, you can, send me a message, but it's not my intention to do anything like that here. Um, okay, anything else you want to see? So let's update everything. We have a long on Ethereum. I expect another leg. That's why I unloaded half of that setup. Basically, we need to touch the line. Bitcoin explained that basically we do have a market structure shift. It's not the best one. I wanted a clear candle here, body, a nice body. I think we can see it maybe. Yeah, it's not the best, honestly. Maybe on the 5 minutes, a little bit deeper. Yeah, we have maybe here, but we do have, one of the rules is not respected is that we're not coming from an uptrend, we are coming from a downtrend. Okay, so that should be the reason why this setup don't work. Okay, realistic target in the middle of that week. I do like the idea. Um, then we talked about Solana. Where is it? Solana is okay. I explained that I do have a POI around here, and of course a POI here. Okay, so as I explained, we want the short first, then destroy everybody maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Take the equals that are sitting here. Okay, it's the 2024 equals waiting. Okay, so we might get a reaction here. Wide stop loss because it's wiki as fuck, this asset. So you go light on this one, and once we get some nice market structure shift, you can add to your trade. Never DCA. Okay, this is a financial advice I will give you. Never DCA. Never. Always add to winning trades, and keep your stop loss. It doesn't matter. The same. You don't need to trail. If you know for sometimes the bottom is created and you just know it, and you add to winning trades, never fucking DCA. Okay, this is very important to understand. So yeah, everything is shared in the chat. Okay, so you can take your setups. Zcash is interesting. Okay, this is an interesting setup actually, as I explained, because we had the bearish retest. Okay, and I said that this POI is inevitable. Okay, I don't know if they want to send it from here, but we might get this type of pattern here. Okay, so you might see something like that. It will take time. If the intention is not to chase these highs, you are gonna see. Look, it happened so many times. One time, two times here. So maybe this is the third time after flipping, the support to resistance. This is very interesting. This is a very interesting trade actually. So yeah, I'm not against the idea here, honestly. What else did we look at? We talked about gold and Bitcoin, the comparison of the two, which is very important. Okay, we are into a long POI, so we might see slowly, we might see, I mean, Bitcoin outperforming gold. So maybe we start seeing a rotation of money into cryptocurrency again, even if I don't think so, because I think it's a little bit too early to say that. So they might keep dumping into cheaper prices, okay? Because I told you they want Bitcoin cheaper, but not so cheap either because they don't want us to buy, okay? So if we ever go between 48K, even if tomorrow it goes to 5K, it doesn't matter. Between 48K and 38K, you have to buy spot. It's been months that I do not own any Bitcoin at all. I don't have any Bitcoin. I don't have any Ethereum. I don't have any of these. And I want to explain a last thing is that we might mark the bottom at 38K, okay? But I want you to be ready for this scenario because people, you have this psychological thing that, this was the 2022 bottom, right? And they think this level is unbreakable, okay? This is all about liquidity. Imagine this is a chart, a 15-minute chart, okay? Imagine this just got listed on Binance, right? At the end of the day, this is just liquidity, okay? So if this can happen like a shitcoin when it dumps, I'm not saying you can like dump trillions of market of a market of an asset that has so many billions of market cap like in one day, but take in consideration that this one day will be swept. There is the idea of Bitcoin is like 21 million, okay? This is the max supply. So the more the time passes, the more rare it becomes, okay? Because the typical currency loses value, etc. So we are leaning into different ideas, but basically, yeah, they want it a little bit cheaper and then continuation into 200K, etc. And it will be trading at $1 million one day. Maybe in 15 years from now, it will be trading at $1 million because it's becoming more and more and more rare over time, right? But I want you, lots of things can happen in 5 to 10 years, maybe earlier because it doesn't look that far. Be ready to take a long here. I'm just saying, be ready for that sweep, okay? And the day that happens, you will never buy or long Bitcoin that cheap ever again in your life. If this ever happens, even if you have, an isolated account somewhere, you just place your limit, you forget it. You have some tight stop losses for a swing type stop losses, okay, around 10K. They take these lows here. This will happen. Just imagine this is a 15-minute time frame. Okay, you got your market structure shift, and maybe it's coming back to sweep the lows, get you an entry. Think like that, just on hard time frames. So I do have, because I have a lot of sub accounts, okay, because I trade probabilities. That's why I have a lot of sub accounts. I do have a limit order like that with a liquidation around 5K basically. Okay, it's around nine. It's a 9 lots position, 9 Bitcoin to be bought at this level on leverage, not on spot, with a liquidation around 8. So I'm ready to lose that money, to be honest. I won't lie, but okay, I just let you. I will just let your imagination work on that one. We might talk in 10 years. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, lads. I don't know. I don't know. He's not going to sell. He can't sell. Yo, Dan. Breakout. I'm trading only on breakout. So you're gonna start a prop challenge here in early. How to join? No, bro, just kidding. So the problem is why it makes it hard because I take day trade on some scalps, but I have to mention the lots. Sometimes I change the size of the limit order. It's kind of stressful to be honest because you also have to mention the size of you just don't you can't say long this long that and I go with like 2 Bitcoin long and the other guy goes with 0.5. I get liquidated. This guy has. I have to mention every single step. So you guys, you do understand that if we close the weekly like that, we're fucking cooked. So this weekly will be very important. But looking at these weekly closes here, we are going to continue down. Okay, so it's important to zoom out a little bit and understand that we do have a uh, we have a flat here. Okay, we do have a flat which is supposed to be taken at some point. This is the 93,700 entry basically, which got front run, but it's going to come eventually. Yeah, so now we swept the 9th of April. Okay, that's what I longed basically. 9th of April was longed basically, and now we'll see what happens. But yeah, 71 700, no, 71, sorry, and 150 200. So above that week, this is a very very important look. I will explain you why. Look, if I go on the weekly, that's how I sniped 76k, for example. This is the weekly, very strong weekly candle, creates a wick. This is a very good tip I can give you because not everybody knows that trick. I discovered it. No one told me. Basically, you look, you create the wick. Okay, so you have your gap. They will never come for the touch of the gap. You have to bet higher. I bet at 76k. Okay, so this is pretty much the distance you will be calculating to be really sure it's getting the fill. And same for 98k. Where was the play here? This was an official call actually. I wasn't in earn yet. So this is a little bit confusing because you have this week also. So I decided to go above. So the distance I would use for that one, I used it for this one. So I went here, I caught it like to the dollar, like for $5 different. I caught that long, guys. Yes, I sold at 105, even if my projection was around here, but I was a pussy. But actually, this worked. So take in consideration these things when we do have very strong candles to the upside, and this works also on the downside. Okay, so when you create strong daily gaps, basically, let's say this is your confluence. Okay, this is the inverted chart. You are not going to long the touch of the week. Okay, you're going to long a little bit higher or short. Let's say this is a short. So I would short here 118 500. This is where I would short, not a sweep or anything. They want to sweep it, so be it, but this is where I'm taking the short basically. Okay, so have a good night, guys. Can you repeat the BTC stop buy zone again, please? The Bitcoin stop buy zone. What's that? This one? I don't understand your question. Spot buy zone. My spot buy zone is between 48k and 38k. So basically, first of all, I'm going to take a long here on that sweep. It will happen. Um, and here. So this is your buy zone. Okay, and this is an isolated leverage order that I have, nothing to do with the rest of So yeah, okay, guys, it's time to go for me. Thank you for coming in the live. Always appreciate you guys. This is where you sell your house. Yeah, and take care. I know it was a very, very hard month. I know. I will not apologize. I will not say sorry because it is what it is. But I'm just updating you that what was the mistake of this month. The mistake was not keeping the limit order intact, which was at the green line. It will have been the snipe, basically, okay, for the big short. Okay, that was the mistake of the month. Um, so now we are at premium. Now we are pretty much at discount here. Okay, so what you have to remember is that um, this is an important level, 87K, 93K. Okay, and also where is it? 71-ish. Okay, so these are the important zones that you have to remember. Okay, so don't try strange stuff in between. Okay, be careful. When going rampage, I'm going rampage soon, bro. Like, but all I want is like February to be a little bit less stressful, basically, because the market was moving so fast. You have to take so fast your decisions that imagine you have to take the decisions for yourselves, and at the same time you have to update. You can't imagine how hard that is to call something and update it and say, "Oh fuck, things are changing." You have to take very fast. It's not everybody can do that. But yeah. Okay, guys. See you next time. See you next week on the live. And yeah, let's get that month a little bit more, chill. See you guys. Good night.